Now, Hollywood, with a lot of their celebrity transformations, have given people a lot of like false notions, false conceptions about what it takes to build a good physique. Build like shoulders, chest, six pack, quads, all of that, right? Build like that V taper in your back. I remember watching a lot of those transformations when I was younger, like when I was like 10, 11, 12. Like I was like obsessed with that because I was always just wanted to be bigger, you know. Um, and Yeah, and if anyone tells you like that's like a overrated thing or being bigger, being muscular, they're just coping, or it's their own. I've said it in other another video. It's their own like a negative insecurity trying to project onto you, and don't listen to any of that. Like being in shape, being like in great shape feels amazing, like and not just being like in like looking good and having like being lifting heavy weights, but actually having like stamina, having cardio, right? Which is super important. A lot of people still don't do cardio. I didn't do a lot of cardio for a long time. I found I would run sometimes every now and then, but I find it boring. Anyway, good enough to something else, which is I'm boxing now. But yeah, like you'll see the guys like you've seen a lot of guys like Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman, Chris Evans for Captain America, Tom Holland for Spider Man, and you see their transformations, and a lot of people will be like, oh, steroids. Chris Hemsworth, which is true in some cases, but then other cases you see like actually that actually looks realistic. For example, like when we look at like Chris Evans for Captain America First Adventure, like they filmed this in 2010, came out in 2011, so it was like 2009, 2010. He was getting ready for it, getting like that proper superhero condition, right? Like when he comes out of the machine, if you've seen Captain America First Adventure, it's like and it plays the soundtrack, da, 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 and it looks jacked, right? Like you see his big chest, his abs, and for him, right, he had more body fat, so he wasn't like super shredded. So that's like, definitely like an indication to say that he wasn't on steroids and that. I mean, I think he looks natural, honestly. If look at his physique in like Fantastic Four as well, he looks in really good shape for that. Not as jacked, obviously. But he's playing like that's how I got first introduced to Chris Evans. But yeah, and then you look at like Hugh Jackman for Wolverine. Like for example, for the first X Men, that for sure was natural. Like you can see like in the first X Men, if you've seen it when he's like Wolverine's like walking around, he's got his shirt off, and he looks natural. He looks like in good shape. Like he's been training like he's been training like a good like 6 months or something. It's been taking it seriously, something like that. And I heard the first time they filmed that, it looked so bad. They had to be like, okay, like guys, we cannot like I think the Brian Singer, the director was like, no, we can't, like we just can't use that. Like we need to just like go back, give Hugh Jackman some time, and then he can actually come back and we can shoot this again. Like I think they shot it at the end, right? And then he looks a lot better. And then you see him in the Wolverine in 2013, and he looks shredded for that. Like X-Men Days of Future Past are shredded. But also, what you have to remember with these things is they also like the 24 hours before they'll like carb up, and then I think they'll like dehydrate themselves, so they're like even more shredded. And also, you're doing a lot of core work, right? To really get the six pack going, really get like a shredded physique. Um, and like because obviously they'll bulk and then cut, and then being also like dehydrated as well, just making your abs pop more. So you feel terrible, Henry Cavill as well talked about it for like one of the Witcher scenes. He's like dehydrated there, like super dehydrated. He has to act all cool in that. But to make his face look more like chiseled and that, so there's no water, the water retention. That's what it is. That's the key thing with that, right? So with the water retention, they just look more fuller. And then when they dehydrate themselves, they look leaner, more chiseled in the face. Abs look better, chest looks better, more shredded. See the line separation better, the abs looking better, just more chiseled. And yeah, and then also like some CGI, even like Chris Hemsworth for Thor: Love and Thunder does seem like he has his shirt off, and he looks nuts. And I've seen like a behind the scenes video, and still looks jacked, but not as like shredded, you know. So those are some things to really consider to remember with a lot of these things, these scenes. You see them, these actors in these scenes, and they look freaking incredible shit, right? Like shredded to the nines, like they can step on stage and compete at Mr. Olympia even, you know. Um, and yeah, the truth is like they have very good coaches. So I want to say actually first of all also that yeah, some of them have used steroids. Like I mean, if you look at like Chris Hemsworth for Thor Ragnarok, there's a shot the scene in that and he's walking around. There he looks natural. I say right, he looks how he looks in Limitless, which is like a documentary series he's done. He's done like things where he fasted, did a 4-day water fast for 4 days, and you see his physique there, and it looks like pretty much, but it looks very similar to him in Extraction and Thor Ragnarok. But then if you look at him in Thor Love and Thunder, then it's like even more jacked, like behind the scenes video I'm talking about, not the, because in the movie he looks even more shredded because of CGI and that. And but like even like the behind the scenes video I've seen, like he looks jacked as well still, and he gains gains a lot of muscle in a short period of time, So with that, like I'll suspect maybe he was on something. Like people have said about The Rock for years, he's always denied it. Like I think his dad as well and his uncles have been like accused, and with The Rock, like he does a very good genetics, half Samoan, half black, very good genetics for sure. Trains very hard, always been disciplined on that. He's gotten leaner and shredded as he's gotten older, and then after the Smashing Machine, he gained even more weight for that. He went up for, I think it was like 34 pounds it was, I believe. Yeah, 34 pounds. I remember Benny Safdie saying, and the director of the Smashing Machine saying on a podcast he had to gain that much more. So he was already massive before. He went from 270 to 204 pounds and 304 pounds he weighed in the Smashing Machine, and around there. Obviously weight fluctuates a bit, but like he was massive for that. Massive. He was already massive, and then he got even more massive. And then after the Smashing Machine, he went down in weight for like another movie, and like, just his health, I'm sure, of course, overall. And he's gotten a bit heavier then again since, and he still looks shredded. I mean, with The Rock, I would think like, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, but I think, look, he's always been disciplined. He has fantastic genetics. He's always trained hard. His diet has always been good. He has his cheat meals, obviously, but like that's fine when you eat great for the whole of the week, and then you have that 1 or 2 cheat meals in the week. Like you're fine then. So with him, I think like, and like he said it like openly like a bunch of times, like I don't sleep that much, or hasn't slept that much this night, and flying here and flying there, doing this interview. Okay, flying on set. Okay, 2 hours sleep in the trailer. Okay, they're ready for you. Like how it is on a movie set is, you can just be in your trailer for like literally like 10 hours, and then you shoot for 2 hours, hour and a half. I remember Mark Wahlberg just said it on a stream recently. You can be on set for 12 hours, and they're literally you'll be filming 1 hour. You shoot for 1 hour. That's it. Because a lot of the time they're getting stuff ready, the cameras, lighting, There's a lot of different things behind the scenes. But yeah, I say like there's some celebrities you see clearly like, okay, that looks like very, very shredded. But you also have to remember that they're dehydrating themselves like for like 24 hours before, something like that, to look even more shredded and more chiseled on the face, all of that. And it's for like that one scene in the movie, like Hugh Jackman in X-Men Days of Future Past, like Henry Cavill in The Witcher. I think there's a scene like when he's in a hot jacuzzi or something, he's looking more like shredded because he's dehydrated, right? So so I'll summarize with like the people that I think are natural. So like also Michael B. Jordan, his transformation for Creed. So before Creed, if you look at his physique in this movie called That Awkward Moment in 2014. So Creed came out in 2015. That's actually perfect as well, yeah. 2014 was That Awkward Moment, and there's one scene he has a shirt off. You can see his chest is defined well. His abdominals are like, there's like some development there, not much. His shoulders are okay. He looks slimmer there, but like in good shape. He looks like kind of like a swimmer physique actually, that, And then, which is like fast forward like a year later, or like 6 months after shooting that, then he goes and shoots Creed shot That Awkward Moment in 2013, shot Creed in 2014, and then he gained like 25 pounds it was. I had 12.5 kilos that is, and he looked great in Creed, and he's shredded. And for him, I think for sure he was also natural, good genetics, trained hard, had a good trainer, was on the diet and didn't miss a meal. Clearly, like you see it all in the movie, right? You see it all in the movie, and then in Creed 2, he's even bigger. In Creed 3, I think even a bit bigger than that as well. But yeah, I think Michael B. Jordan was natural. I think he's always been natural. For Black Panther, as Killmonger as well. And you can look different when you change up your style of training as well, of course. So like his physique in Creed, let's take in the first Creed and as Killmonger in Black Panther. And I know for Killmonger as Black Panther, he trained like a bodybuilder. His coach had him doing that kind of training to build that like with more body fat as well. To build a kind of physique like Killmonger would have. which is actually kind of confusing now that I think about it, because Killmonger's a soldier, so wouldn't he look more like, would he be more shredded than that? So yeah, but I don't know. They went for that, and I'm sure there's more reasons behind it. And then for Creed, he trained boxing as well, so and he needed to have a shredded boxer's physique, like Anthony Joshua, right? If you look at Anthony Joshua, he's got like Tyson Fury will make fun of, oh, you're big bodybuilder, all of that. But he's really just jealous of his physique, you know. But like Anthony Joshua is built like he's not, I won't say he's built like, but he's not built like a bodybuilder, but closest to a bodybuilder are like all the boxers you see, are like all the heavyweights, and but he doesn't train, obviously not like a bodybuilder. He trains like a boxer. It's a world class boxer, you know. Will be a inshallah 3-time heavyweight world champion, but I mean that's further, but yeah, definitely. I think he beats Fury in November, December, whenever that happens. But yeah, I think Henry Cavill for Superman. When he sees physique and that, he did gain a lot of muscle mass. Maybe he was on something for that, but again, they look natural, right? But also, and then again, some guys can look natural and also be on steroids. So it's not everyone. Everyone looks like they're on like that classic steroid look, like a Mr. Olympia bodybuilder who, you know, obviously they're all open about it, that they take steroids. And with bodybuilding, you can't really compete at that highest level without taking stuff, you know. So I mean, there's like maybe like one league where it's like, well, it's 4 people who are doing natural bodybuilding, you know. So which is like the actual healthy way to do it. Yeah, I think Tom Holland for Spider-Man, I think he was natural for sure. He looks it with his training. It's not like he has to be big or anything for that. And then like for Captain America Civil War, Spider-Man Homecoming, and Spider-Man Far From Home, he's pretty much the same physique, maybe slightly bigger, very slightly. And then Spider-Man No Way Home and Uncharted, I know it's filmed those at the same time. And I know there was a break in between shooting for Uncharted, like COVID time or something. And in that break, he took that time to like get bigger, because he was like acting alongside Mark Wahlberg, Mark Wahlberg's like to like 195, I think he said in the stream recently. He walks around like 192. He's like 6 foot 5'11", around there. So he's big for his height. He's a projector, and he's like 55 years old, still maintaining that physique and work ethic. Amazing, yeah. He's a man of faith as well. Really respect that. Yeah. And yeah, say Mark Wahlberg for The Fighter, say natural. Tom Holland natural. Tobey Maguire natural. Andrew Garfield natural. Chris Evans natural. Chris Hemsworth for Thor Ragnarok natural. I think for Thor Love and Thunder he was on something. I think maybe. I'm not like saying like, oh, he was on something, has to be. I'm like, yeah, you know, maybe, or maybe he did actually have more time. But even with more time, it's like, you know, again, you're looking at his physique in the Limitless series on Disney Plus and Extraction and Thor Ragnarok. He looks the same there, in great shape. He looks fantastic. He looks natural. And Thor Love and Thunder, he just looked like bigger and just more shredded and like in like a short amount of time. That's why I have my suspicions. That's what it's about it. So Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool, natural. He'd always trained. Looked like he put on the mass naturally, and again for like the shirtless scenes, it's been more dehydrated and looking all more chiseled, and the abs and the chest and the face, you know. So some camera tricks, lighting, sweat, all of those things. So yeah, so we'll wrap it up there. This wasn't really like a proper self-improvement video, but I just wanted to give my thoughts on that, yeah, and let you know like what it actually is, and with a lot of them, you know, lighting, camera angles, being dehydrated for like some hours before, 24 hours before, something like that. Angles, like Tom Hardy as Bane in The Dark Knight Rises, they shoot from low, right? They shoot like from like down here, and he's up here, right? All the way up here, and they're shooting from down here. And Tom Hardy's not like I don't think he's even like 6 foot, 5'10", 5'11" maybe. And he was like, I think he said about 90 kilos he was for that. And you can see he has more body fat, But he's like regular like trap genetics as well, and people have even accused him of that as well. But I think he's natural as well. He just has regular trap genetics, works very hard. I know he does Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and he started when he's 40 actually as well, though, which is very late. And but yeah, he's like entered like I remember he entered like some competition just unannounced, and I think I can't remember if he won or not, but I think I can't remember what belt Tom Hardy is. I don't want to misquote it, missay it. But yeah, but Tom Hardy for Bane Dark Knight Rises, people even thought he's on something, but nah, like he's, and if you see the behind the scenes photos where he has like the mask off and he's bald, because of course he shaved his head for the role. He's got like some like backing in that because of like the bad food he's eating. He said he was like stuffing his face with pizza and dirty bulking, right, to like put on the mass and lifting heavy weights, and yeah, because you don't see that or see any abs, you don't even see like the outline really in Bane because he has that much more body fat, but to look like that, like dominating and shoulders, traps, back, all of that. So yeah, Hollywood can be deceiving with you think one guy looks like this, you think he's maintaining that year round, but the truth is he really just dehydrated for that 24 hours leading up to shooting that scene, angles, sweat, lighting, yeah. And then literally like you see guys after they shoot that series, that movie, and then they've lost some weight because maintaining that like 4,000, 5,000 calorie a day physique is a lot, and they want to just like chill at their normal weight, or just chill at like maybe 5 kilos less, something like that. And then when it's time to shoot again for Rocky 2, Superman 2, whatever it is, all right, go back up. Obviously, it depends on the actor. If they like really like maintaining what they're at. Like David Cornsweet for Superman, I've seen like a video of him doing like an actors on actors kind of thing. Well, there's like him and another actor, just talking about that roles, and he looks like the same as when he shot Superman. They're shooting Man of Tomorrow right now as well, so obviously he's in Superman shape. But yeah, see how they did there. Give me your thoughts. Agree, disagree, or yeah. Alright, catch you next one. Peace.